Okay. Hello everyone. So let's start the 8th on-page roast webinar. Today I have a special guest, Craig Campbell. Big applause for him. And before we start, let us know if you can hear us properly. And Craig, how are you today?
All good, thanks. All good. As I was saying off air, just getting on with things and keeping my head down. It's cold. It's winter here in the UK, so there's not much else to do other than do some work. So just getting my head down and trying to keep doing what I do. Just sadly with COVID and everything, I've not had a proper holiday this year, but
Yeah,
it's the
it
same for
applies
you
to
and
everyone, I
everyone else.
think.
So,
Yeah, it applies to everyone.
yeah.
But we had some kind of golden autumn in Poland for a few days, but now it's cloudy again, so probably more like a British weather. But yeah,
Yeah.
I have a confirmation from the audience that they can hear us well. So welcome everybody again, and Craig Campbell with me. This guy has 18 years experience in the digital marketing industry, SEO, which means that his experience itself could drive a car in Poland and drink alcohol, which is kind of fun. It's great to have you, Craig.
Thank you, man. No, it's a pleasure to be here, man.
Looking forward for those golden
Been a
nuggets.
while since we
Uh
spoke.
huh.
Yeah, it's been a while since we spoke about coming on, so it's great to finally get on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have like 5 pages to roast for today, I think. And without adding any more friction to the viewers, let's start with the first victim. Who is he? Who is she?
So it's Parish Coffee or Orleans Coffee, um, which we've got. Can you see my screen
Yeah,
just now?
yeah, I can
Yeah.
confirm that the screen is already there and people can see it hopefully. So yeah, you can start roasting, I think.
So I'll try and be kind. So having a look at the website, you can see that clearly, it does coffee, and you can see the homepage there, and everything else. But what we're supposed to be looking at is the kind of flavored coffees and stuff like that the guys have. Now, if we look at the website in general, it looks okay. There's not a lot wrong with it, and I'm just messing around with my screen here for no apparent reason. Um, However, I'm going to go back to the URL we're supposed to be on, which is the custom flavored coffee. Now, the same thing, the pages all look very similar on this website. Now, aesthetically, I don't believe that, a website that's got Orleans Coffee as the domain name, the first thing that smacks me as being wrong is it's called Parish Coffee, Orleans Coffee. What's going on there is the branding's not consistent, although that doesn't really impact SEO as such. That's just a little bit of a thing that I pick up. However, the layout of the website, it's okay, it's readable, but it's kind of bland. I find first off, the buttons are boring. They don't encourage you to select options. They're not bright colours, and also you can see the alignment of the buttons is just all over the place, and clearly that comes as a result of the descriptions of the specific coffees that are available. And obviously that's consistent, up and down the page there. So it's just a one page. They are full of different types of product, which is fine. I'm sure you sell a lot. But from an SEO point of view, we have to look at the content. And the first thing I always look at is the kind of header on the page, custom flavored coffees. We can see that the URL is custom flavors. You could potentially have custom flavored coffees there, but don't change that just now. And you've also got your title tag. So you're clearly trying to target custom coffee flavors or custom flavored coffees, or, words to that effect. Now, one of the most important things from an SEO point of view in terms of ranking this page would be the content on the page. And we have this, if you want to call it, 2 lines of content here, which is nowhere near enough. It's clearly not enough to rank for custom flavored coffees. Now I've not checked the rankings of this website, and Michał actually offered to tell me the rankings of it. I've decided not to, but I would be absolutely flabbergasted if this website actually ranked well, because of the lacking content here. And also, when it comes to internal links, like in a very short space of time, you've got 6 or 7, maybe even 8 internal links taking you to the other types of flavored coffee that you've got. Now, internal links is not a bad thing to do, but it's got to be done with the right. You're pushing power in just to basically 7 or 8 other pages here. Now, for me, that means that someone said internal links are good, and you've blindly just scattered them, right into the 2 lines of content. Now, you've also got to bear in mind, clicking on this is also an internal link. So it's not like Google, when they're crawling that, can't really get to your other pages. So this, for me, the internal linking structure up here is done without any thought or strategy behind it, because you're not going to tell me that these are all your power pages. These are all just random flavors. So again, not enough content here. I think someone's taken it upon themselves to understand that internal links are good, but don't understand why they're good. And if the person's watching this, you're using your internal linking structure to power up your power pages. So on blog posts, you might want to power up custom flavored coffees and drive people to this page, or you might want to send them to your gifts page or your teas page or whatever it's going to be. But don't overload your website with internal links to product specific pages, because this is a product category page and it already has a whole bunch of links to the product specific anyway. So there's no need to overplay that up here. But obviously, Michał will give us, in terms of on-page optimization and what Surfer does in terms of being able to compare this to the guys that do rank for these terms. And that's obviously where I think a lot of people go wrong. They are not comparing like for like. You have to do what the guys that rank it at the top also do. And for me, this is just a real poor on-page SEO page here. I'd be flabbergasted, Michał, and I'd love to hear.
What do you think about the visuals there? Like, I'm kind of missing, and this is from the public too, I'm kind of missing those images of those cool, colorful coffee bags all over the place. I feel like where is the link? Where is the product on this page? I'm kind of missing the context.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously if you were to add pictures, which should go above here, above each product, it would just give it a much better feel to it, because I think is very, very text heavy as well. So the visuals I'm not a fan of whatsoever. Colouring is not great. That doesn't stand out to me as buy this now or anything like that. So I think in terms of the visuals, it could be done a lot better. But as I say, even the call to actions here, such as select options, they could be a hell of a lot better. Now, no one's going to suggest that a red button works better than a green button or vice versa, but you need to make it colourful and engaging. And for me, with a lack of imagery and everything else, that is a boring page. I would look at that and my eyes actually hurt when I'm looking at that. So I think, you've got to get that balance of visuals in there as well. So you're spot on it, or whoever else suggested it are spot on. It's not a nice looking website, if I'm being honest.
Absolutely. So it's like on one hand it's content heavy, but on the other hand it has no content for the Googlebot, isn't it? Like only just a tiny
Exactly.
description on the top, which, okay, I'm not a huge fan of having e-commerce site with a huge wall of text above the products, but these days we have tons of many different ways of kind of hiding the content somewhere that will be also a great content for the Googlebot. Obviously, Googlebot can read the content that is within the FAQ section, that is within this read more button, or maybe below the products or stuff like that. So the Googlebot
Yeah.
is not fed with the content at all for this page. And going to the server thing, let me share my screen now. So what I found is that basically this page really has not enough content. Let me find it in the search results. It's Orleans Coffee, position 16. So as you can see, it's ranking pretty well already, isn't it? Position 16 with such a content, right? But the
Yeah.
thing is that is missing so much, in general, words. It's missing content. Like I can see only 216 words of content on this page itself, while the competition in the top 3 is between 1000 and over 2000 words. Okay, I don't think people will be willing to read so much content, but we have to keep the balance between conversion and feeding the Google algorithm, right? And if the Googlebot cannot categorize this page properly, that it is full of flavored coffee, then we will have hard times ranking. And even though it sells, however, it probably doesn't because of those visuals and overall feel of that page that doesn't build too much credibility. Let's say we are still not feeding the algorithm. So what I found is that it's missing so much content, and after this short analysis looking at the charts, I will just review the competition in the top because it is also kind of cool story here. So we have Amazon in the top 3, which we will be excluding anyway because of their authority, and we are not able to compete with Amazon, and they are probably not so strong with the content, so I will just get rid of them. However, we can find some affiliate sites fighting for this keyword too, like this one, the best 10 flavored coffees. If I will open this page, I will see okay, a typical affiliate website with those products, which is definitely not an e-commerce. So we have kind of mixed. Oh god, this site is not so good too. But we have a mixed intent in this query, having those affiliates trying to fight for this keyword. Plus, we have quite a lot of e-commerce sites too. So if you are about to optimize e-commerce site, right, like in this situation, we have to get rid of those listings too. So I will kick this coffee chronicler. And other than that, we have this best 10 flavored coffee. So obviously similar situation here. Let's see what's this one, because I'm not sure. Well, is it e-commerce site? Yeah, it is. So it's a category page that is lacking products in the category. Okay, that's all right. If it's e-commerce, then we can keep it. So right now, our old audit will consist of those two pages on the top, position first, second, and position 4 and 5, and position 7. And now we wiped out those competitors who we shouldn't be comparing with. And speaking of an audit that I will turn on now, but before I do it, I will just point out that the content score is really low, so we have quite a lot of missing elements for this page, which is obviously coming from lack of content. Plus, we have pretty strong domain because the domain score is 4, and comparing to the competitors that are other 4s, and we have a page with domain score 2, we have some 1s in the top 10, some 3s, so definitely there is not a big problem with the domain strength for this page. It's most likely the content. So let me just quickly take a look at the audit to see what's going on. Before I jump into the true density, I will just show you that, okay, it's pretty good idea to include a little bit more content comparing to those top 3 websites, which are between 1000 and 2000 words long. Position 4 is 800, so also quite content heavy comparing to the others. So let's take a look at the entities that this guy is missing. And well, I can see tons of phrases that this page is missing, like coffee beans. God damn. Arabica beans, coffee flavored, taste buds, French vanilla, Arabica, ground coffee. All of those terms are missing, and it will be super easy for this website's owner to just rank for it by creating a proper category description, including those relevant entities from the true density audit. This is essential, and this is the easiest way to basically start ranking higher, because we already have the authority, right? Ranking position 17, it's a great sign. With such a weak on-page optimization, with such a weak category description, plus strong signal that the competition has proper category description, it means that we are lacking well, pretty easy stuff. Just ask someone to write you a 1k words long copy for this category description, place some on the top above those products, and the rest, like 700 words below the products, and you will be home in general. What do you think?
Yeah.
That,
I think the one thing, the key point of this whole process is what you're saying using those other keywords, semantically related keywords and all that stuff, is the difference between this page ranking for 5 keywords or 105 keywords. And at the end of the day, anyone with good on page will have a page that ranks for hundreds of terms, all, and if those terms are not on the page, you ain't ranking. So yeah, it's the massive room for improvement.
Yeah, definitely. And it's cheap improvement, isn't it? Because if it was lacking authority, then we had a situation like, okay, spend, I don't know, 10 grand on backlinks to just start appearing in searches, because your domain will be too weak. And in this situation, we have the cheap win, the low-hanging fruit, truly low-hanging fruit. Just fix this wrong category description, and the rankings may pop up right away. That's my thought on this. And yeah, I feel like we agree on this, and I think we can move on to the next victim. What do you think?
Yes, let's go
Victim
for
is
it.
actually a wrong word. It's negative, but
It's fun. It's fun. Um, so the next victim is splitit.com. Now, before we go into their shopper page, one thing that I actually hate right at the start when you hit this website is you're hit with sign up to an email just now. And you've also got this pop up here where they're wanting to chat with me. Now, I've not even scrolled on the page yet. I don't even know if I like this website, let alone sign up for their newsletter. So that's something to consider to try and keep your people on the page. Do not bombard them with pop-ups and sign-ups right from the get-go, because I've still to look and see if you've actually got the answer to my search query. And obviously, the website itself looks decent, but with any website, where is the content on here? Uh, having a look at this, we can see, a page, and we can see that you can, what you do, 0% interest. The target search term here is a buy now, pay later, no deposit, no credit check. What are you trying to target here? When you pay small, you can keep more of your money for living. Introducing the smaller way to pay. Obviously people want to retain money, especially when it's COVID and everything else. But having not, one, I don't know your rankings. Two, I don't know your website. Three, I don't even know what this page does. I'm scrolling here, and it's telling me something along the lines of no applications or credit checks, always 0% interest, never any late fees. Shop with split, pay later on your terms. So I'm assuming that you provide finance, but I've had to scroll halfway down the page to understand what you guys do. It's not instantly. So remember, people are going to land on this page, and the first thing they see is, you can make your payments smaller so you can make life bigger. But it doesn't actually say that you guys are basically providing finance or payment options for people who want to buy things online. So I just don't think the messaging on page is great, instantly from the start. But the website design and stuff, it looks great. Obviously, one other thing I would highlight here is we don't know if to scroll down. So that image is probably too big at the top. You want to try and encourage a scroll so that we know there's more information below. That's something you'd want to do. But in terms of content and SEO, there is no content here. You've got what shoppers say about Split's pay later solution, and people have said it's easy to use. You've got some nice photos here, and obviously you've got various different shops that you allow people to go to. But the reality is, you've got probably less than 200 words here in terms of what you're trying to do, like buy now, pay later, or whatever your keyword is going to be, and that is not going to be enough text for that type of search term. Now, also, we mentioned in the last website, they overdone it with internal links. I'm not seeing any kind of internal linking get on here at all, to take me to other pages. So throughout the content that you do have, other than going to your terms and conditions, no internal linking. Now, also, a lot of this stuff, yeah, that's text, image. So I just think that the page is very bland if that's a page that's designed to rank well. And obviously, if you're doing pay-per-click or stuff like that, then of course this page could potentially work. But in terms of SEO, which is what we do, and if you run this through the likes of Surfer, it's going to be the same story as the last website. you don't have enough content, you're not using enough other terms to make sure that you rank for a wider bunch of search terms. And for me, also, the messaging on here, it just doesn't make it clear exactly what you do. And that's just in my opinion. I get you're a directory and you can point people to the right shops and you can, make the payment smaller. But, how are you making that smaller? I just think the messaging could be more on point. And obviously, once you start looking through your website, those things do happen. But yeah, I just think it's a website that looks good and the concept's good. I just think there's no substance other than that. I think the messaging, the content's quite bland, and obviously then it takes you off to affiliate websites and whatnot. So it's just an affiliate website here, really, for some finance company. So I think you need to be clearer with the messaging.
Yeah, I'm kind of missing the information how to start shopping and how to what it actually does. Okay, I know the incentive behind it, that I can buy now and pay later, but how to kick it off, how to turn it on, and I supposed to have a clean explanation of what are the next steps to benefit from this service. And yeah, definitely this is something I am missing. And if you don't mind, I will jump to screen sharing now to show you guys how does the number one competitor look like. This is the number one competitor. Buy now, pay later, interest-free, start shopping. And it tells me right away that my 400 bill will be 4 payments of 100 each. So with this competitor, I know right away what's going on. If I'm still confused, I can click how it works. It's the first link. Second link. If I don't know what's going on, I can click how it works and it will tell me. But the message in the header above the fold tells me right away what I can do with this service, and this is definitely what I'm missing on the page that we were analyzing. And what is even more funny, that the page that we are analyzing is ranking position 3 for this keyword already.
Jeez.
Yeah, and what's even funnier, they have quite a lot of content on this page, but it's most likely hidden. So if you click this A button in server, it will show you what's the hidden content of this website, and it's quite a lot of hidden content and tons of, keyword stuffing in general. So as you can see here, bolded keywords like all over the place. Buy now, pay later, furniture, shoes, mattresses, blah, 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 all the stuff. So it feels like it has the content, but it has the content not in the right place, and it has the content not describing what is it all about, but, some kind of content that is there because someone thought it will be a good idea to put it there without any without thinking about it. And in such a situation, when we have to change the content from some kind of fluff content, spammy content, but already ranking position 3, we have to be super careful, as our domain is 5, which is quite high comparing to the others. We have 1.9 above us, but the number one is 5.2. Guy behind us is 5, and we have some 4s below, which means that we are strong enough to rank for it definitely. And this simple check tells us that there are weaker or similar strength domains around us, or in the top 10, in the top 3, then we can definitely just prepare the no fluff content for this page and the rank for the keyword. So when we are already ranking position 3, it's super important to be extra careful with any content changes, as it may cause some even ranking drops if we will start messing with the content in a rush. And in this situation, our content is graded as 68 score, which is actually the highest in the top 10. And that means that Google kind of rewards us already for having those terms. Maybe it's because the structure, maybe we have some entities, but in a situation like this, when you are already a trendsetter in the niche, I wouldn't take any rash decisions with changing the content. So instead of tweaking those densities till the end, I will just focus on the keywords that I'm missing. And what's really weird is that this page is missing terms like the credit score, like the payment method, like the credit cards. It's missing keyword credit cards, payment plan, approval process. The only thing that it has is the exact keyword buy now, pay later, and it appears on this page only once. That is not an anchored text. So it's kind of diluted. Sense of this website is diluted. We have this exact keyword only once, while the suggested range is like we could squeeze even 4 times in here. So for me, it will be kind of matter of rewriting the content that we already have, including those entities that we are missing, to make the whole page's content comprehensive information, because those will also serve the users. I'm more than sure that people are really interested about the credit score, about split payments, about the payment plans and approval in some kind of FAQ section or something like that. And this is definitely easy to improve. Similar situation as we had for the coffee shop. Pretty easy task to get it done with just plenty of really important contextually relevant terms that are missing, and all of those are NLP entities. And when you see this NLP entity badge next to a keyword, you should think only this. If Google thinks that this term, this entity, is meaningful for the content of my competitors, there is no doubt I should have it, so I can get categorized as the buy now pay later page as the best answer for this keyword. That's yeah, those are my thoughts, my 2 cents to this page. So provide the information to the user that is relevant, and fix the message so user knows what to do next, how to start using your service, right? This is what I think about it. And do you have maybe something to add?
I would also say, see if you've got hidden content on here. Be careful. Try and future-proof your business so that you don't get slammed for hidden content as well. Although you've got away with it just now, and it's working, I'm not, it's not visible to the human eye. And if Google think you're up to no good, you could potentially be slammed for what you're doing. So try and future-proof your website and your business by doing it better and adding a bit more quality to it. But I think everything else you've said, I think we agree on. I think just better messaging on the website and stuff as well. But as I say, aesthetically the website looks really good. So, and if it's ranking well, then great. Your strategy clearly works. It's hard to argue with a strategy that works, but it's how long will that work for is my concern.
There's always a room for improvement. And before we move to another website, I just wanted to encourage you guys to like this video and maybe subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we are going to put some more videos like that and webinars every month. So really do it. And if you like what Craig's saying, definitely look for him, as he is running a YouTube channel too with even more frequently uploaded videos. And yeah, 40K subscribers can't be wrong, right? Um, right. So let's kick off with the third audit.
Yep. So an absolutely horrendous looking website. If I've ever seen one aesthetically, this looks like it was built 10 years ago, and I'm going to guess it was. So, a couple of things I want to point out. See, if you're not on Twitter, don't have us linking just generically to Twitter. If you're on YouTube and you've not uploaded a video in 6 years, then maybe don't have a link to your YouTube, because people are going to think that you don't trade anymore. That's my interpretation of it. Everyone's different. So people are going to think you don't trade anymore. Now, for me, this logo is just not good. It's kind of pixelated. It looks as if it's been done in Fiverr. And even if you did pay for that in Fiverr, you were probably robbed. It's probably worth a dollar. And it's very central. And one thing I actually want to check here, let me check, is, yeah, it's responsive and stuff. But a logo tends to be in the left-hand side. That's slap bang in the middle, although it doesn't take, it doesn't do much else. You would probably be better having that in the left and then some slogan or something there. Obviously, aesthetically, I think the website's very, very boring and very plain. And also, what I'm looking for when I see a website would be a number to contact someone, maybe up in the top right-hand corner or something. Now, if I go to your Contact Us page, I will also, see that, you do a free consultation. We can sign up to your thing. But if I was to pay for your service, who the hell am I paying here? Would you personally give money to someone who doesn't have a phone number or a contact address? Now, I'm not having a go. I remember years ago, I started out as a freelancer, and someone said to me, I didn't want my house address or my phone number up on the website. And someone said to me, Craig, it just looks unprofessional. And the minute that, I basically got a mailing address because I didn't want my home address up, and I got an 0800 number, which I forwarded on to my mobile, because I didn't want to openly have my mobile number on a website. Now, very quickly after that, more calls started to come through. And I think it just adds that element of professionalism. Now, as it stands just now, I personally wouldn't give this website the time of day, because it doesn't look real. It looks as if it's been thrown up in 10 minutes, and it could be taking money from people that they might never see again. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that that is the case, but because so many other SEOs scam people out of money, we all know that there's dodgy SEOs out there and people saying they can do SEO. And I think just those trust things like the number and maybe an address or whatever do buy into that. But as I say, aesthetically, the website is dated. The logo looks poor. The video's 6 years old. But if we're looking at the on-page side of things, obviously you're offering SEO to plumbers out there, which is not a bad thing to do. Great niche, and obviously you are saying that you only work with one plumber in each US town. And I'm assuming you're going to do some GMB stuff, you're going to build them a website, you're going to do some social media marketing and get the best SEO for plumbers with SEO Plumber Pro. Next step, if you want to get over, you just contact them, you request a quote and stuff like that. But you've not even got a button here. This is a link. And I think aesthetically, you could have a button going on. Also, your navigation bar goes over 2 levels, which is just not good. And again, I think this website does look really old. Most people's eyes, when they come to a website, are drawn left to right, which is why, in most cases, signing up to an email or anything else would tend to be in the right-hand side as opposed to the left-hand side. It just works better. But even in terms of you collecting email addresses, I find that hard to see. So maybe, a bit better design round about subscribing to your email and also your free consultation. But you've got buttons there, but you don't have a button on your biggest call to action requesting a quote. Now, in terms of the content is not great. Now, it's again a couple of hundred words long, and there is no real internal linking structure. You've got an outbound link to Wikipedia, and you've got a couple of links here, learn more, and it takes you to your web designer page. But even if I look at your web designer page or your SEO page or whatever we want to look at, you've not even got a case study. There's no pictures. There's nothing here to encourage people to think you're good at what you do. And
when I'm looking at this page, Craig,
it,
I feel like if those guys are building pages, so what kind of page I can expect while I'm looking at their own page, right?
That's the thing. You're looking at that going, geez, I don't want my website to look like this. And again, although you've got a nice video, you've got a couple of bog standard images here. There's nothing here to suggest that design is your strong point. And I'd be, again, there's no internal linking. There's no subheaders going on here. There's no real variation of, plumber SEO related search terms or talking about digital marketing or, all of the kind of other terms that you would expect to see on a page offering SEO, social media and everything else on the one page. Now, also, the part of this page, think of Google, right? Google want to know what this page is about, and you've got plumber SEO, right? So SEO, plumber SEO, that's it. You then start to talk about building websites and social media marketing, which, of course, you have plumber social media, a page on that. But Google doesn't really know what this page is about. Is it about social media? Is it about web building? The only bit you've got about SEO is 3 lines of text. And for me, SEO is such an in-depth subject. You don't talk about GMBs, you don't talk about lead generation, you don't talk about SEO with conviction on this page. And it might come down, listen, my website's not the best website in the world. You might be busy doing great SEO for clients, but this page cannot possibly rank Michał. It's impossible. Now,
I will surprise you. I will surprise you.
Tell me where it ranks.
Position 16, nationwide, US.
Jesus.
Not so big competition, huh?
I mean, does anyone actually search for?
Oh, I will surprise you again. Because this niche is pretty damn big. I have numerous of keywords with search volume over 1,000 monthly in the US for those plumbing SEO services, and this is, for me, it's almost as popular as the roofers SEO, as dentist SEOs, law firms SEOs. So it's pretty often searched, and I think, you know what? I think that it is so popular, SEO services in plumbers services, because ads are so freaking expensive. Here in Poland, we've been doing ads campaign for one of the plumbers in the Warsaw, and a single click was on a level between 20 and $30 for a click, dollars USD. So that was crazy expensive. In just a few clicks, they were running out of the budget, and even one click daily, and their budget is gone for the ads. And this is why so many plumbers are looking for SEO services. That's my assumption.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a lot of plumbers who do need it. I just can't believe this website ranks number 16 for it. That is unbelievable. I mean, surely you've got to agree this is not a good looking website and it's not well optimized. What does Surfer say on
Yeah,
this.
I will jump into Surfer in a few moments. I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about those internal links? Learn more. For me, not being consistent with anchors and within the internal links, exact matching anchors. Well, this is a terrible issue, I think. And just yeah, what are your thoughts on those anchors?
Yeah, I mean, those anchors should be, exact match or partial match, taking you to the relevant page. As I say, eh, I just don't think I can't really see any positives from the website, if I'm being honest. Um, I just think it's overall just not a good job. And one last little thing, actually, you know, this guy's saying that you get to number one in Google, and is 1,000% ROI enough for you? Making bold claims like that, again, would scare me off. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that you get anything less than 1,000% ROI. Getting someone a GMB can get people a lot of traffic and a lot of rankings before you even do SEO. But that scares me when I see that on people's websites making those bold claims. So yeah, overall, I'm not impressed in the
Yeah, but
slightest.
anyway, it's another good starting point if with such not so well optimized page, landing page, it can be ranking so high. It means that it shouldn't be super hard to appear in the top 10. And well, let me share my screen now, and I will just show you guys what are those search volumes on those plumbers keywords. And this is the keywords section in Surfer. So all of those keywords are commonly ranked by the competitors, and there are quite a lot of keywords, even niched down as much as local SEO for plumbers, plumbing, internet marketing, and stuff like that. This means that the niche is pretty cool. I would create some kind of lead gen site for the plumbers. It shouldn't be too hard with some kind of 301 domain, H domain, and well, it could drive quite a lot of clients if those search volumes are correct, and I don't have anything any evidence that they aren't. So it should be kind of a gold mine for leads for SEOs, especially because plumbers pay a lot for ads, so they will be probably willing to pay quite a decent money for the SEO to save those dollars spent on ads. So yeah, I hope you don't get too much of a competition after this webinar, but this is what I would do. Just create a lead gen site for the plumbing SEO, and that should do the job. So when it comes to the surface audit, what we are looking at right now is this correlation chart showing the length and the position for averages of the first, second, third page of Google. And in here we can see quite strong correlation. We're having more content and ranking higher, especially that the last page, I mean, not the last, but the fifth page of Google on average is half of the length of the top 10, which means that obviously content will matter. And in SEO, industry content really matter. You see those uh, landing pages of SEO firms with tons of this explanation what the hell SEO is, how they can improve your link building strategy, content marketing strategy, lead generation strategy. All of that is part of SEO services. I mean those 360 SEO services, and this is definitely the angle that you want to have on your website, because plumbers don't want different agency for the SEO, different for the ads, different for the social media. So you have to squeeze all of that content to perform better. And when I turn off the averages and highlight this website on the chart, I will basically see that it has slightly over 400 words of content on it, which is less than everyone in the top 10. And the average in the top 10 will be, let me yeah, it's 2,800 words, and we have 400 words in the top 10. And well, you just need more content on this website. And when it comes to creating the content, I would actually switch to the content editor instead of running the SERP analyzer while I'm going to write quite a lot of content anyway. I would build it from scratch instead of trying to squeeze it here and there on the existing website. So let's quickly create the content editor and see what kind of contextually relevant words and phrases we will pull. So just a few more moments. And yeah, just so you guys know, we are doing it live. I didn't create a list of issues for those pages, so you get this real life analysis experience. It just feels better. I suppose. So in the content editor, you got those high content score pages selected. So we got those best benchmarks, and all of those seems to be plumber SEO companies. So let's scroll down and see those phrases. So okay, Blue Corona is, I think it is a brand name, but other than that, we have those search engine optimization, SEO campaign, SEO company, search engine again, results, plumbing SEO company, local business, all of those stuff, SEO strategy. Okay, another brand name, Hook Agency. So I will just click on it to exclude. But other than that, I feel like all of those are super relevant and questions people also ask. Is SEO that? Well, this is not something that you should explain within your local legion, or maybe not local, but legion money. But things like, is SEO a waste of money? People ask for it. You, Craig, mentioned that the industry is kind of scammy, right? We had tons of SEOs doing the bad job for the whole industry. So especially people that are not into SEO too much, and definitely plumbers aren't, they will be looking for information of the credibility of your company. They will be like, even you see the phone number. This is a super important term placed in the middle of those recommendations, which means that the phone number is super relevant to this query. What's the value of SEO? So you share the value, 1000% ROI. Okay, but well, if it's not backed with real numbers, then people will have hard time believing you in general. Is it relevant in 2020? Obviously it is. So I will just finalize the customization, and maybe I will also copy the page's content and put it into the content editor, so we will know what is actually missing from the current. I won't be too detailed with I will just copy and paste the content in here. But hey, you see only 4 keywords green, and all of those are reds, missing entities. Only a few mentioned within the content, like the plumbing companies, Google, and stuff like that. But all of those important terms like SEO campaign, search engine optimization, Google My Business, SEO services, plumbing industry, they are all missing, and it's crazy easy to fix this website, as it is already ranking position 16 for such a competitive keyword. To make it rank higher, it's missing essentials, and without those essentials, you won't be able to convince the writer that you are not the writer, the reader, that you are professional. And secondly, you will have hard times being categorized as the best answer in search engine for the query plumbers SEO. And yeah, I think that we can say that's it for it. And anything to add, Craig?
Yeah, so if you can share my screen
Yes.
quickly, you'll see that this website really is a piece of garbage. It has no power whatsoever. The no DR. So what you're saying is obviously there's a lot of people looking for plumber SEO, and there's a lot of search around that. This is really a niche, guys, that you can get involved in, because if this website can rank anywhere close to where it is without any real backlinks, without any content, it shows you how open
Oh
that
yes.
market really is. And if there's search volume there, then that's what we're looking for. Something that's not hard, something that's relatively easy. And that actually shocks me that this is the case with that website for those kind of search volumes. But there you go. I'm not wanting anyone to think I'm trying to say everyone jump in this niche. I'm not, but I'm just saying with no DR, no nothing, for me that website to have any rankings is absolutely
Yeah.
astounding.
I have the same feeling. I didn't suppose the zero in the Ahrefs. I thought that maybe we have a bug in server and that's why this domain score is zero, but well, actually it is. So well, I'm surprised, and well, if I had some spare time, I would definitely build myself a niche site about plumbing SEO and try to acquire some plumbers, because it should be so freaking easy. If this page could rank so high, then anyone can do so. Before hordes of people will jump on this niche, if we have the website's owner listening, make those tweaks to your website ASAP.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
definitely.
So let's move on to the another one. As usual, we will extend the time of the webinar as we have 2 pages left and it's almost 5 p.m. But I hope that you don't mind, guys. So let's move on to another one.
So the next one is yourgolftravel.com. This is actually a niche that I've operated in. Very competitive, very lucrative, um, and you need a good website. Now, having a look at this off the bat, we can see that this is a very nice looking website. Obviously, this particular page is, they're looking to rank well for all inclusive golf holidays. And that's what loads of guys want. They just want to pay someone and take their 5 mates, go on holiday, play golf, Portugal, Spain, and all the other kind of stuff that you would go to, all the places you would go to for an all-inclusive golf holiday. So nice website. They've got lots of information, a lot of content here. They're giving you the all-inclusive golf resorts. They're linking into the Caribbean, Mauritius, Dubai, Portugal, blah 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 blah. So they've got some internal linking stuff. They also link out to some other areas. The only real concern now, I think this website's really nice, really good, and everything else. And this particular page is targeting all-inclusive golf holidays. But they go on to have all-inclusive golf holidays in Turkey, and they showcase some deals. They then have all-inclusive golf holidays in Spain, again, and showcase some great deals. Same with Portugal, and then Morocco and various other bits and bobs. Now, for me, all-inclusive golf holidays, you can go to any location. I would stop at that, because I think what you're doing would convert really well. But for me, if the information is the same on your Portugal golf holiday page, the question I would be looking to ask myself is, are you going to create cannibalization problems here? Which one of your pages is going to have more power, and which one of your pages is going to rank well for golf holidays in Portugal, as opposed to all-inclusive golf holidays when you've got Portugal and everything else well mentioned. So I'd be looking to that, but that would be my only little concern. I think this, again, I've not checked the rankings, but when I go deeper into the website, I think that this website does have a great structure. I think, your golf holidays in Portugal is obviously the main search term, and you've got a whole bunch of stuff round about that. But if it's going to be all-inclusive golf holidays, I see why you've added Portugal and all the other areas. For me, though, that potentially does then run into potential cannibalization issues. It might not. You might bypass that. But overall, I'm going to guess that this website does rank really well, and it has a lot of power. It's certainly got a great structure. Obviously, you've got all your resort specific, which we all know. Well, having worked in that niche, I know that people actually Google the resort specific as well. So you've got your Cornelia Diamond Resort and stuff like that, which again I'm going to assume ranks really well as a kind of long tail or very specific keyword. So I think you're covering a lot of good things with this website. But obviously back to this page, which is the one we're analysing and supposed to roast. I don't think I can really roast this website. As such, I think, even halfway down, they've got their calls to actions and it looks nice. Aesthetically, it looks good. It's broken up with pictures. The layout's really easy for people to click on stuff. And I think it's a great job. And obviously a nice little video on there as well is always, helpful for the users. So I know it's a roast. I'm going to struggle to roast that because I think that web design is really good. Look at the DR of that website as well, and it's these guys. Someone knows what they're doing. They've even got 17 referring domains pointing to that page. So if someone tells me that these guys don't know what they're doing, again, I would be flabbergasted. The page ranks for 489 keywords. Now, golf holidays, you're in position 2. All-inclusive golf holidays, you're position 2. So you clearly have bypassed the potential cannibalization issues and stuff that I maybe would have checked for. So whoever's done this is doing a grand job. And, look at some of the search volumes here are really good. So I think, there's always going to be room for improvement, Michał. You're going to run this through here and your tool will say, oh, you could have done this or you could have added in these keywords. There's always something missing. But I think this is a top job.
I agree with that, absolutely, because I've been reviewing this page on the one-on-one meeting with this website's owner, and I was supposed to find some issues, and I was like, guys, just start building more marketings if you have money for that, and there's really not so much to do with this page as it is super well structured. It deals with the cannibalization even though it is structured as you said, and we have a great contrast between the pages that we roasted before and this one, as this one would be the perfect benchmark of a site that is selling golf holidays online. That's the way how to do this in general.
Yeah. One thing I would say about this though, if they were looking for improvement, is the Americans love golf holidays. So I used to do this for a similar company in the UK, and obviously the Americans love golf in general. Now they obviously love coming to Scotland, but they also love going to other places in Europe. The American audience is the next big place for you guys. Obviously, most of your keyword rankings come in the UK. Try and grab some of that American traffic, because literally the guy I was working for before said those Yanks do not care about money. There'll just be a guy that will phone up and say, me and my 10 guys are coming over there. I've got 100 grand to spend. Make sure that we get good games of golf and stay in nice hotels, sort it out, and chuck the money into the company. So I think America's another place for expansion for this type of people selling these holidays. So, but yeah.
So what I found out that it actually has some issues. So let me jump in. Me sharing, obviously. So we had a few keywords from this website's owner. And one keyword was the golf holidays, and the other keyword was all-inclusive golf holidays. And they both have specified URL, which is golf holidays. It is the homepage, and it is optimized for the golf holidays. And we have all-inclusive golf holidays, and it has dedicated sub-page too. So the thing is that the sub-page is actually ranking for both golf holidays and all-inclusive golf holidays. So actually we have some kind of cannibalization between the homepage and dedicated URL for the all-inclusive holidays, which as you can see in this situation, position number 1, golfholidaysdirect.com, they are ranking with the homepage for the golf holidays, and we aren't, because we are on the position 2nd. So there is definitely something, but I'm not sure what is it, and it probably would require like this 40 hours full-blown SEO audit, obviously, but there is something in it, as those guys YouGolf Travel, they have dedicated URL, which is homepage, but it is cannibalized by the all-inclusive golf holidays, and this is the issue that differentiate them from the page ranking on position 1, which is Golf Holidays Direct. As you can see here, Golf Holidays Direct also has all-inclusive golf holidays. And what is also cool is that we have super strong domain score 7, DR67, like you showed us. However, those Golf Holidays Direct have the domain score 2, which is much weaker, but the content is better. I mean, when it comes to those entities, when it comes to its structure, when it comes to the hidden content, all the stuff that is taken into account of calculating the content score. So, and we have again the situation when we are the trendsetters. So the only thing that we're gonna do is to exclude all the pages from the comparison, include just the guys that are ahead of us and have the content score higher, and hit the audit button to see what differentiates their content and ours. And in general, our page is super content heavy, and it may be related with those different locations that you mentioned. Maybe this is not something that we are going to or we want to read about while looking for the all-inclusive. Maybe the only thing that we need is the links to those locations that you can buy all-inclusive in Turkey, in Scotland, Portugal, Spain, everywhere, but maybe we shouldn't be so content heavy and about those specific locations. This is something that differentiates the page with the position number 1. And when it comes to the entities and in general keywords in use, because of that super content heavy page, we are also diluted with entities. So 5k words content versus 2.5k, and we have golf holidays used only 17 times on this page, while the suggested range for this length is up to 90 times, which means that we are like 4 times lower when it comes to density of the golf holidays. And the same or similar situation is for the all-inclusive golf holidays, for the all-inclusive golf resorts, all-inclusive golf holiday, golf courses, golf breaks. Everything is heavily under-optimized. Even though we have those entities on the website, we are heavily under-optimized because of super long-form content on this website. And well, that could be something that moves the needle between you and them. That could be something that makes Google, okay, this page that is ranking on position 1, they are probably more about those golf holidays than those guys. And yeah, it could be some kind of a handbrake. And if we take a closer look to the exact keyword, which is probably the easiest low-hanging fruit, we can see that our density is 0.28 and there is 0.7, which means 7 keywords per 1,000 words, and we have only like 3, let's say, and it is visible in here. If we take a closer look at the details of the exact keywords in use, we will see that we don't have exact keywords in image ads. They have it at least once. Okay, it's once, but it sends a signal, right? Image alt is a place where you get those signals. Okay, let's take a look at headings. Kind of similar, but hey, they have half of your content, and even though you have less keywords in headings, it's definitely something that differs you from those guys. Let's take a look at the paragraphs. So you have only 1 keyword in your paragraphs, they have 9. I know they may be keyword stuffing, but if Google didn't penalize them for the keyword stuffing, still ranking position 1, then it may be a signal that it is not stuffing. It may be a signal that it is just the right amount of keywords that people are looking for while looking for the golf holidays. And comparing the density, we are wasted almost 10 times less keywords in paragraphs comparing to those guys, which makes it crazy ineffective. And the cherry on top, 7 keywords in H1. How come? And why is that? It's because we have 7 H1s. So this is kind of, I think it's funny because everyone tells us that you cannot rank with the wrong heading structures. Having those multiplied H1s may hurt your site, blah blah blah. But apparently it doesn't, right? And even though they have 7 H1s, it doesn't make them penalized for it. And again, they have 7 H1s with exact keyword 7 times in each H1, and it's like insane for me that I would expect such an error on a page that is not ranking at all, that is penalized, that is on a, I don't know, somewhere under the rock. But in this situation, we have super big issue. I mean, is good practices issue. No one can tell that it is an issue for real. But I don't know what to say about it. Maybe you can comment on those multiplied headings and keywords stuffed there. What would you do?
I mean, I think obviously they're getting away with it just now, but for me, using the header tags, the use of them could be a lot better, and use variations of keywords rather than stuffing them. But as you say, like obviously Surfer compares what other people are doing and what other people are getting away with, and I think there's no perfect science to this. You've just got to keep fine tuning everything and try and test different things. For me, I think where they've got golf. What was the all-inclusive golf holidays? Or golf holidays in every single header on the website. I think it is overkill.
This is what the number 1 is doing, huh?
You could use vacations, you could use, various other different words. And I think if you were to vary that up, your page would rank for more search terms. As such, I think you've got a well-drilled structure there. And, it is probably, in my opinion, borderline spammy on the title tag side of things. But who says, who am I to say that it's spammy or gets penalised? Clearly, you're getting away with it, so it's hard to criticise. But again, if there's going to be another content update, you may get slammed for that further down the line. So for me, it would be just, I think when you've got a website like this, it's not about going away and blasting thousands of links at it or doing wholesale changes. It's all these fine-tuning the little bits and, maybe de-optimizing a certain page to get rid of your cannibalization issues, de-optimizing a page and trying a few different things out so that, you get everything combined. And I think you just need someone that's got the bollocks to do a bit of trying and testing on a website like that. And there's no right or wrong answer here. You know, you've got your homepage, which you've clearly started out and, you know, optimized for all-inclusive holidays, and then obviously got an internal page, and there's that kind of problem there. What you'll probably find is, and I've had this with several websites in the past, your natural thing would be to keep the internal page and de-optimize the homepage. But I would pretty much guarantee, because your homepage has got all the power and the vast majority of your backlinks, that it wouldn't work that effectively. So it's again just getting the balance right, or, you know, building up the power to this one before you de-optimize the homepage and stuff like that. But as I say, very hard to critique when the guy's ranking. But yeah, I'm not a fan of these header tags.
So I will just circle back a little bit to those headers and semantics versus render, because what I have on my screen now is their page, and as you can see, we have clear H1 on the top, and we have some kind of H2s or definitely smaller headings. So from the render perspective, this site is really looking properly. It doesn't have anything wrong other than semantics in the code, and all of those headers are marked as H1s, which is not a right way of marking all of your headings within the HTML, but apparently Google figured out that the page is rendered properly and those headers differ from each other, so they are not the same size, the same style and stuff like that. And I think that it is all because they invested so much money in rendering those pages, so they do not rely anymore on just the HTML crawl and spending some resources and CPU power to render those sites. And I feel like they can figure it out, that they are actually not H1s, they are subheadings looking at the render. And yeah, this is something that we also incorporated in Surfer recently with the new true density algorithm to actually check if the keywords are placed in a prominent place, not prominent based on its HTML tags, but on the actual rendered side. And well, I feel like it's the trend that Google is also utilizing. So they rely more on the render, on the actual appearance of the website, not on the clean HTML that they can parse much easier. They wouldn't be investing so much money in rendering if they didn't count it, right?
Yeah, would make sense to. Yeah, I think Google are becoming cleverer all the time and using different ways to understand stuff. So we've got to bear that 100%. In mind as well.
So we have the last page ahead of us. I know it's kind of late already, but let's get into it. I think it's kind of cool clump for this webinar. So let's move on.
Yeah.
Who do we have? Oh, we have a cool website there. Okay.
Automoblog, which is going to be about car products. I'm going to assume reviews, guides, and all that stuff. Best car deals. One thing I'm going to start off with, again, I'm going to refresh the page. So we can see very quickly that this page is about, or this particular thing is about Escort Max 360C review, and it's a radar detector, blah, 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 blah. But within a few seconds, I'm going to get a pop-up that comes up, or it should come up, and you can't get rid of it. So that pop-up you seen at the start doesn't actually have an option to get rid of it, which is very, very bad for user experience if that pop-up comes up. It's not coming up just now, but that is a real pain in the backside. I'm sure you'll be able to get that up, Michał. But we can obviously see the kind of intent here in terms of what they want to rank for. That's quite clear through the kind of there's the pop-up, right? Now, how the hell do, I get rid of that pop-up. There's no X, no nothing. If I move you away, you can still see there is no X here at all to get rid of that pop-up. So
Actually, there is a way, probably. Just provide your email and your name.
oh yeah. So at gmail.com, subscribe. So you're basically forced to get away.
Oh.
But the problem you've got here is it then says thank you, and you can't get rid of that. So that is a horrendous problem with your website. So unless, even if someone does subscribe, they can't get away. Now, going through your website, clearly you are reviewing the product, and you click visit website and it's taking you to nowhere at all, other than TSO host. So I'm not sure. Well, it's a TSO host ad there. Sorry, so that's my mistake. So you've got AdSense running through this, which I think are very misleading. Just like I've done there, I've been able to click on something else and be distracted. But you're basically selling this escort radar, and you want people to go to escortradar.com to buy them. So that's all good and well. You've got your nice red button there, but when we're scrolling down and you've got your headers and subheaders and everything else, we've got visit site, very big calls to actions that are taking you to a random web hosting company. Now, obviously it showed me a web hosting company because I'm in the digital space and I was probably looking at web hosting companies earlier. But if I'm looking at your competition and I'm looking for that particular product, am I going to be served ads from your competition? And am I going to go and buy from your competition? Bear that in mind when you've got your AdSense on. So you've also, I think you've got a decent amount of content here. It's very, very content heavy. There we go. We've got your golf travel on here because I was on that website previously. On the AdSense there. So get rid of AdSense. I know it probably makes you a couple $100, but get rid of it. It's a pain in the backside on an affiliate website. You went for long form content, and you're linking to your main money page. You're linking to your affiliate that or you're getting all the stuff from. Now, obviously here you've got internal links, which again take you to Escort Radar. Again, that's perfectly fine to do, having other products on here. But what, again, I'm not seeing is a great internal linking structure to other areas of your website. All you're really doing is linking out to the affiliate, which is obviously your main goal. But you've got no other internal links that are passing page and power to other stuff on your website. Now, secondly, with an affiliate website, you probably will see you've got here on this page, you've got it in your sidebar. So that's fine. I was going to actually say most of the time this is actually the start of the content. You've got it in your sidebar, so it's fine that it's there. And then you've got some ads. So I'm going to guess that this website does rank reasonably well because it's a very specific search term. The website for me doesn't look that bad at all. I think in general, in terms of a review website, it is what I would expect. However, I think you are getting lost with the kind of ads running through the stuff. I think people can get confused and click on stuff that they're not supposed to click on and get diverted off your website. And for me, it's an average Joe affiliate website. They just don't do great internal linking, but probably do really well with all that kind of content. The great thing you've got is the length of the content, and you're going through a whole bunch of different other, I'm hoping these are other related keywords that are going to be related to that product. And in turn, you're going to rank this page for a whole bunch of long tail keywords, and you're going to make some decent money through affiliate marketing on this particular website. But it's very simple, straightforward. It'll work reasonably well, but you are going to have massive room for improvement here. There is no internal linking structure. Even if I was to go to Ahrefs right now and check where that particular page, what it ranks for, your website's got a decent DR score. In fact, I'm just going to go to your website in general. I'm going to guess this website actually gets a ton of traffic, because if you're doing that level of content, then you're doing a good job. And I think with a lot of affiliate marketing, I mean, you've got an outrageous amount of keywords there that rank. So it's not for me to tell you that your website's bad as such, but it could be better. Better internal linking structure. I like the length of your content, but Michał is obviously going to run it through Surfer and again be able to pick even more holes in it, saying you're not using enough of this or enough of that. But overall, other than the ads, I don't have a huge amount of negative things to say about it, because I think this website clearly does, have a lot of power. It has a lot of referring domains, and it ranks for 200,000 keywords, and we can see, the scale that you've got to here. And obviously we know that this organic traffic's not accurate, but whatever you've done, you've done a grand job. Yeah. So content is king, and clearly you're really good at that. So yeah, it's as I say, I think the ads is the biggest thing for me, and I'm not sure what other people feel, but that just sucks on a website. And this whole not being able to get away from the email thing, those are the two main things I would give feedback on.
Awesome. Great feedback. For me, when I see such a website that is ranking for so many competitive keywords, I saw there were keywords with 36,000 search volume ranking really high. It makes me actually happy that it will be super easy to rank for other relevant keywords with just the content, because if you have the credibility in the industry already, then it will be pretty easy to utilize it in creating more content that is relevant to the niche. So I would just spend some time on creating new reviews, new contextually relevant basically reviews and listings, so the things that convert the best in the affiliate world. And that will be my tasks in general. And when it comes to this pop-up, I got it too, but I actually can close it because it has an X on the top right corner. Maybe it's an issue with responsiveness on your side. Maybe it's because it doesn't properly render on every single machine, which is obviously super important. And if we just found it, then the website owners should be super thankful for that, because he may be not aware of that problem. And when it comes to the rankings of this page, it's position 10 for this keyword, so another great starting point. However, we have some tough competitors to take over. So we have the two Amazons in the top 6 and 7, and we have Best Buy, which will be probably a different type of a page, and we have some big players trying to acquire this niche with the so we are in the EU, right? Okay. So in general, we will have some hard times outranking those digital trends, because domain is super strong, and the drive because domain is super strong too. But in general, these are identical type websites with the same user intent, with the same type. So we can basically keep them all in the comparison. And the last one that will be included in the comparison is the escort radar. I'm guessing it may be a producer. Yes, it is a producer. they need an SEO. So we have to exclude the producer too, because obviously it's a different type of the website. But now we have the radar busters, which is obviously another type of website like us. And what I wanted to point out in here is this page, Vortex Radar. They may be really cool benchmark because first, they have a high content score. They are also super long, 10k words, the longest. And it may be something that makes up the weaker domain. So it will be probably a good idea to follow them, as they seem to be doing great job with their content. So I will definitely keep them in the analysis to get a little bit of their content as a benchmark. But besides of the length, I will just take a look at the exact keywords. And well, in this situation, we have just a few pages in the top 10 having exact on the website, which is Escort Max 360C review. So we can think that, okay, if position 1 and 4 and 10, if they could rank without an exact, then it is possible. But obviously not having an exact in the content will be, well, that may be a killer of the website. Even though it's super simple tweak, even though Google will probably pretty easily find out that it is still about this product, but without an exact, you are hurting yourself really badly, especially that some pages had even 4 exacts or 2 exacts in the content, and you are missing it. So that will be the easiest fix I can think of for this particular page. I don't think you focus anything else, because the URL is Escort Max 360C review and the keyword is Escort Max 360C review. So I just don't see the point of not having an exact if the competitors have it, especially that the concentration of the exacts in use is in the top 10, top 12 to be precise. So I could end up right now just add 2 exacts, one in H1 and one in the first paragraph above the fold, and that will be probably enough to jump a few places up. But when I take a look at the audit, obviously I will see information about mixing exact in H1, in title 2, in title. Oh yeah, detector. So there is this, you see it? Oh yeah, and M1 bundle review. So I can see some keyword stuffing in the title. So you try to rank for more keywords, which actually could kill the main keyword. So if the M1 bundle review is not the head term for you, get rid of it, or at least make sure that your Escort Max 360C review is used as an exact in title. That could be another great improvement, even though it's super simple and super basic. Still, sometimes it happens. I'm not blaming the owner. Sometimes shit happens, right? And sometimes you just forget it. Sometimes you just think that, okay, maybe I'll do it this way, but in general, it's not the great way. Okay, if the M1 bundle, but well, can you imagine that the Escort Max 360C and M1 bundle review will be better keyword than just Escort review? No, I don't think so. So I would definitely take care of that exact, and obviously I would take care of the true density keywords, because as you can see here, you mention the Escort Max 360C a lot, and maybe this is your keyword, Escort Max 360C, as the product itself, but you overused it comparing to those guys that we are comparing with. So this is kind of important, while you are missing the exact on the review, which will be crucial to your rankings. From position 10 to position 6 with just adding an exact, that's possible. However, tons of those relevant terms are missing, like this speed limit, best radar detector, windshield mount, yeah, as a product, escort radar detector is also missing, and it is the NLP entity, the driver alert system. Does it have it? Even if it doesn't, you can mention that you have different products reviewed that have driver alert system, and you link with this driver alert system to that product, so you can acquire actually even more traffic thanks to those solid anchors with internal linking. So even though it doesn't have it, mention such a things within your content. Is it about Bluetooth or not? So as you can see, another windshield mount radar detector. This is super important, and again, if it's not a windshield mount radar detector, mention it within the content and share products that are this type. So well, this is kind of similar situation as usual. Those pages are pretty often missing contextual words and phrases that are super important for Google to categorize them properly. And well, just add them. Just add them. If you don't have time to add them all, add those with the highest relevance, and circle back to this page after a month or two and add more of those. As the competition may change, competition may do their job, they may do the homework, and optimize their sites too. They are not blind, they are not silent, they are making money on this page, so they are probably investing it again. So I can see tons of terms that are missing, even though you have quite a lot of content and you place yourself within those rather wordy pages. So we have this 2K, 2.5K, 9K, 9.5K, obviously some shorter pages too, but in general you're missing tons of keywords, and it won't hurt you if you add more content to this website, because examples like page on position 4 and 5, they proved that you can even have 10k content and rank for a keyword. So adding those will only help you to get better categorization from Google sites, analyzing your content, if it's the best answer for the keyword or not. So I think I will finish at this point, as we obviously are more than half an hour ahead of the time, and we still have 8 people watching us. So super thankful, guys, for still being with us. Maybe you have any questions, just put them in the chat, and we will be probably clamping the webinar. So maybe you have anything to add, Craig?
No, I think you've covered it nicely. I think even with the Automo blog, it's really good, but there's still fine tuning, better optimization overall. That's just going to again notch it up a level, get more traffic, more revenue, and it's just about reinvesting and scaling that way. After you get, clearly they have the underlying processes there. So I think with any good website, it's just fine tuning things as you go, and is there a process in there to use the likes of Surfer to better your content and compare it? That's probably not a part of a lot of people's content processes. They're wildly throwing content out there and saying, right, write 3,000 words or write 5,000 words. And I think the great thing about the tools that Surfer and everyone else provides that do what they do is you have statistics and data to work from, and it just makes so much sense to not always just write a bunch of content, but go back and better what you have and get, as I said it in one of the firsts, some of these pages might rank for 100 search terms. Fine tune it so that it ranks for 500, because you can really get that growth without having to scale the volume of content all the time. Go over and optimize stuff as well, and I think that's something that a lot of people miss out on. So
This is super
yeah.
true. I'm in a process of getting together a case study on a blog for a super competitive keyword, and the only thing that the blog owner did is that she included those missing entities within the short paragraph at the bottom of the article saying it's updated version, and it brought, like you said, from 100 keywords ranked to 500 keywords ranked roughly. So this is definitely the strategy you can utilize when you already have a pretty strong domain and pretty cool rankings, and it will not it will only benefit you with getting noticed on a bigger variety of keywords, bigger set of keywords, because all of those are relevant. If you use those entities that are relevant to the content, it will just bring you nothing else but more visibility in Google. And yeah, basically this is how it works at this point. I don't know how long it will work, but it works well really, and I have it backed up. So definitely this is something that you should focus on if you have such a situation as the autoblog. And Craig, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. That was super cool,
No.
and for the listeners, and for me as well. That's an honor to be a host for you. Um, and well, for everyone who enjoyed the content, Craig has his own YouTube channel, Craig Campbell SEO, I guess. So go ahead and check it out, and obviously subscribe to Surfer's channel too, and give us some likes under this video. Craig, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure,
Have a
man.
great day, everyone. Then cheers.
Cheers.